The Labour Party is shamelessly reshaping the country's energy economy in ways where it will change our life forever. Just listen to Ed's speech at a conference in Liverpool.
The onshore wind ban, in place for 9 years under the Tories, swept away in 72 hours under Labour. Cheap, clean solar power, blocked for years under the Tories, unlocked in the first week of a Labour government for hundreds of thousands of homes. Offshore wind, trashed under the Tories, roaring back under Labour with the most successful renewable auction in history. That's the difference the Labour government makes.
This is not just a normal speech. This speech is a bigger deal than what it seems.
That's the difference the Labour government makes.
These words will change the way you heat up your home, the way you spend your money, even the way you make your money.
That's the difference the Labour government makes.
In this video, I want to show you something they're not telling you about this Labour Party net zero goal. How it will affect you, things you'll have to give up because of this agenda, and also who will be profiting from this whole thing that they're trying to bring on us.
We're going to be poorer, we're going to be colder.
He knows how unpopular this is, but he doesn't care.
They don't care that old, cold people sadly die early. As long as they're making the cash, that's fine by them.
The whole thing is about charging us more money. The whole thing is about controlling our life and our behaviours. And in terms of the environment, it makes absolutely almost no difference whatsoever.
Once this thing gets passed and get going, Great Britain will be left behind on the world stage. And I think it's important for you to know.
We're not in a crisis. There is no climate emergency. We are living in the best times you could ever live.
The Labour supporting trade unions are furious with Energy Secretary Ed Miliband for rolling out an immediate ban on the exploration of oil and gas in the North Sea.
Guys, before we get into this video, I want to ask you for a huge favor. It's a movement. I want you to be a part of it. We have a goal here on this channel to get 50k subscribers by the end of this year. That's the goal. And we're gonna need everybody to come together who's watching these videos, who've not subscribed, to hit the subscribe button. Because we're gonna have to work as a team. And I mean, if you've subscribed already, I'm gonna want you to push it a little bit, maybe send it to your friend. Send this video to your friend. Maybe they might like it and hopefully they can give us a sub as well. Because we have to hit 50k subscribers by the end of this year. I think we can if we work together on this. I'll continue to do what I'm doing. I'll give you the best content that you guys are asking for. Anything that you want me to look into, I'll look into that. And I think you guys should do your part as well and subscribe. What do you guys think of that? I think that's a good deal, right? Don't you think? Yeah, I think that's a good deal. So without further ado, I'm not going to take too long of your time. Let's get into this video. All right. Let's get into this video. This is going to be a huge one. I hope you guys enjoy this. I want to introduce somebody that I think you might know very well. Ed Miliband. And somebody who I think you might have forgotten about. David Miliband. As we all know, they're brothers. In 2010, they were competing for Labour Party leadership, where Ed Miliband won the race. David Miliband led the share of the Electoral College votes in the first 3 rounds. He lost in the final round to his brother. It was a very tight race. Ed Miliband won by 0.65%. Yes, I meant it was a very close race. The pair attempted an awkward hug after the result for the optics, but there was no disguising in David's bitterness towards his brother. He refused to join Ed's shadow cabinet and resigned as an MP 3 years later. After the Labour Party lost in 2015 general election, he accused his brother for taking the party backwards. But today, something has changed, and I think the public needs to know. When David Miliband stepped down from the parliament, his MP salary was £66,000, but that was the smallest portion of his income. His final entry in the Commons Interest Register, it declared that he was also being paid over £100,000 a year as a chairman of a football club, and £92,840 as an advisor to a green investment fund. To top his account up, He accepted £65,000 for appealing at a London forum hosted by the Foreign Ministry of the United Arab Emirates. Just over a decade later, David Miliband refashioned himself, called himself a man of virtue. He lived in New York, where he was a part of running this huge international rescue committee, a US-based charity that supports people in humanitarian crisis. For his service, salary-wise, here's what he was getting. He took home a salary of $1,253,728, as well as bonus of $150,000. Yeah, that's a lot of money, right? That's a lot of money for somebody who just refashioned himself. I think I want to refashion myself too. But anyways, you would think that's a lot of money for a person, and you would think David Miliband will be very busy, super busy. But no, he has a lot of time in his hand. This is where it gets ugly, and I need your attention here because you're going to need to tell this to your friend because the nation needs to know. In September 2020, 5 months after his brother became a shadow energy secretary in Keir Starmer's new shadow cabinet, it was revealed that David had become a paid advisor to a giant venture, a London-based venture capital firm that has focus for green technology and energy. This giant venture capital firm recently launched a climate-focused growth fund, claiming that it wants to invest over £1 billion into sustainable technology by the end of this decade, meaning in the next 6 years. Why is that? Is it because they have some information that this new climate change will be the focus the next few years to come? Well, I don't know, but let's figure out, right? Because we're trying to figure out conflicts of interest here, are we? I think so. So let's just see what else they did. Edward was speaking at the Labour Party conference in Liverpool, and he stated that Great Britain needs an armory of green power. Okay, what does that mean? What does that mean actually? Does that mean we get a little bit of batteries everywhere? I don't know. But what he failed to state is that these army of green power will be making a lot of money for his brother. Why am I saying that? I'm saying this because I want to introduce one more person into this whole story to make you understand what is going on right now. I want to introduce this player who will be proving this as a conflict of interest at heart. I want to introduce Field. Field, a battery storage firm, started in 2021. Yes, it's very young, but for somehow this company is ready. This company has over 5 spaces, over 5 locations built or maybe finished. And this company somehow, as young as it is, it's ready to power the whole UK. Really? But I also want you to know who's funding this company. Remember David Miliband became an advisory board for giant venture capital? Oh, guess who invested into this company first when this company was started in 2021? 10 million went to them from giant venture capital to this company. And if this company is the one that's going to be working on as a GB Energy and supplying storage for batteries and all this sort of stuff, doesn't that prove a conflict of interest at heart? Because guess who will be making money? David Miliband will be making a lot of money from this because he's sitting as an advisory board. Maybe Ed Miliband doesn't know what's going on. Maybe Ed Miliband doesn't understand that his brother is the one working as an advisory board for Giant Venture. Maybe he doesn't know that. Or maybe David doesn't know that Giant Venture Capital invested £10 million into this Field company. Or maybe he doesn't know none of that. But the chances of that being true is very, very small. Ed has breached his ministerial code. According to Whitehall Ministerial Code, newly appointed minister must formally declare all interest that might be thought to arise as a conflict with the government post not only their own, but those of their spouse and close family members. They must not only avoid any conflict, but also the perception that one might arise. This should have been obvious to Ed Miliband. I mean, if I can get this information this fast, I'm sure he can get this information. Or maybe you think they all knew what was going on and they just wanted to keep it going because they're all going to profit from it. Allegedly, I'm just saying. Is that true? Should we keep on digging and find out? I think we should. But guys, this is where it gets ugly. Brace yourself for an impact. Because the contract that Phil got from Ed Miliband to store this energy is ridiculously one-sided, I might say. Less than 3 weeks after the election, they changed the rules within the capacity market amendment rule. Usually these contracts used to work like this. When the government signed a deal with a private company for that private company to give them energy, they usually sign a number. Like the government will say, we need this much energy but every year, or maybe this year. Then the company will be like, okay, sign this contract, we're gonna give you that much energy every year or that year. And if the private company fails to deliver that energy or maybe fall off short, they don't get paid. Do you understand? They don't get paid for the short that they couldn't deliver. They don't get paid. But in this contract, it says it doesn't matter even if they delivered or not, they will still be paid. Can you imagine this? Can you imagine working and your boss says, it doesn't matter if you come to work, you'll still be paid? You'll be questioning yourself. You'll be like, really? Did he say that for real? Because I'm gonna just stay home. Then Ed signed off a personal letter to ensuring that it's gonna be easier for these companies to basically make money. It's literally gonna be them making money. They don't have to like fully try to provide the best energy. They just need to exist to make sure this scheme keeps on going and going and going. You can tell that this deal is one-sided and it doesn't benefit the people, the British citizen who will be paying for these bills. It only benefits the private companies, or maybe the companies that the organization that they are partnering up with. Experts are saying if UK adopts the net zero goal and the climate change, all these agenda, it will save its economy and it will make billions and billions of pounds. But they're not telling you how much you're gonna have to give up for this to happen. How much money you're gonna have to pay up for your bills. All they're telling us, it will reduce the amount of energy we use, it will change the way we travel, and this one word that's been thrown around every single time is climate change. Climate change is caused by too many greenhouse gas being released into the atmosphere. The main greenhouse gas is carbon dioxide. These gas trapped heat inside the atmosphere, which slowly harms the planet. Greenhouse gases come from different places. For example, when a vehicle is powered by petrol or diesel, this releases carbon dioxide. Right now, the world uses 32% coal, 23% oil, 26% natural gas, 4% nuclear energy, 6% hydro, 80% other renewable energies. For the government to hit net zero, we're gonna have to give away all that. That's almost 80% of the energy we use right now. And they want to get rid of all this in like 2030. That's within 6 years. How is this possible? How are they going to do that?
Also see alongside this idea of net zero limiting wealth creation across the board. Why poorer? Because people are going to get paid less, we're going to have less investment. We've shut down our streets across the UK with things like low traffic neighbourhoods, low emission zones, constantly this idea that net zero is going to improve the air. And actually, we never have a cost benefit analysis of all of this. We never have let's have scrutiny of this with the public. Let's open this up. Let's say, are we going to be forced to fly less? Are we going to be forced to travel around the country less? Where are the jobs going to come? If you're going to have an attack on North Sea oil and you don't like these nasty things that they keep calling them, they're polluting things, but in actual fact, our air has never been cleaner. And actually, if you compare what's happening in the UK to areas like China and India, Brazil, this whole idea is just going to set us back and impoverish us further. So I think that's why we really have to say no to net zero.
Our steel industry has been destroyed. Our North Sea oil industry is on their way out. Now energy bills are rising so far 10% this year. This will only hurt one person, one group of people. That's the working class, the middle class. This will not hurt any politicians out there. They are making a lot of money. We all know that. Some of them are conflicts of interest, we might say. Some of them are making millions of pounds. They won't feel the pain. It's people like you or me who will feel the pain. Now that we know that there's something going on about this net zero thing that's making them a lot of money, that's why they want to push it and push it and push it. But before I end this video, I want to show you something. I want to show you someone who doesn't care about this net zero goal. Maybe I should say somebody who will be making a lot of money from this net zero, or maybe will be profiting from everybody going into net zero. I want you to look at this graph. Annual CO2 emission. 1750, Britain was the only country emitting carbon dioxide, industrializing itself, and had this space with no competition for 50 years. Then entered the United States in the 1800s. Other countries joined, but it wasn't until 1907 for China to join the market. China competed, and they took over the United States in 2006. Yes, China was motivated to take over, and they did. But now, a lot of countries are slowing down because of this net zero and climate change stuff. China seems to not care about this net zero goal. Just recently, in 2016, they went from 9.7 billion tons annually to 11.7 billion tons in 2022. That's 6 years. That's how fast they are digging. That's how fast they are growing. While others are quitting, China continues to grow. And recently, an article came out stating that the UK in 2021 imported over 27.5 billion of machinery and transport equipment from China. That's a lot of money going to China economy. They are growing. We are deindustrializing ourselves, and China just keeps on growing. Keeps on growing. And soon, we're going to be dependent to get our cars, to get our shirts, to get our iPhones, to get our laptops, to get every single thing we want that we deem to be fancy from China, because we wanted to get into this net zero stuff. And then everything will be expensive because China can choose how much money they're gonna charge us, because we'll have no more factories here. Everything will be greeny here. Everything will be like nice, lovely, right? That's what they're telling you. Climate change. Everything will be green and stuff. Green energy. You won't have a straw anymore. But China will be selling these straws to us for millions of pounds. Do you get what I mean? It's a bit funny, isn't it? I don't know. I actually don't know how these politicians think, because if they want to stay at the very top, then they gotta be doing something that's making money. Or people like you and me who are people who need this stuff to exist. Like right now, I need this microphone. Thank God this microphone was cheap. But if this climate change comes in and we're doing nothing, we're not creating anything, and only China has to import the microphone, then soon this microphone will be costing £500 to £600. That's it for today's video. I hope you've seen something and you learned something that I tried to show here with this image and all these stuff that I created. It took me a bit of time to do this research, but thank God we got this done. I hope you enjoyed. But guys, a lot of you guys who are watching are not subscribed, and it's very concerning. You see, we have a goal. We need to hit 50k subscribers by the end of this year. It's a goal. It's really a goal. We have to do it. So I want to ask you a favor. If you haven't subscribed and you got some value from this video, do you think I deserve your sub? I think so. If you got some value and you think some other people will get some value from this video, send it to them and they can make up their mind if they like me or not. Hope they do, and they can get closer to 50k subscribers by the end of this year. Maybe we might get 100k subscribers, I don't know, but 50k for sure. Thank you so much for watching. Without further ado, hands to the head, salute. Bye bye.